I added this extra problem, and you're hopefully maybe going to see why. But just say somebody says that your car, your gas mileage, your car gets 30 miles per gallon. And so they ask you, if your tank holds 10 gallons, how many miles can you drive? So you're like, okay, so 1 gallon I can drive 30 miles, so 10 gallons I can drive 300 miles. Does that sound right? On one tank. And what you've done is basically this. Now, whenever you see the word per, I want you to think slash mark. So miles per gallon. Okay, so 30 miles per gallon. Then the other thing, we've kind of done this a little bit, is if you see a slash mark like that, think of kind of making it more horizontal. So that means 30 miles per 1 gallon. So these are the same thing, okay? So that is kind of what we call a kind of a property or a physical constant of your car. This is its gas mileage. To work this problem, factor label, because that's what we're all about, we are basically going to convert 300 miles, sorry, is that right? No. We are going to basically convert 10 gallons, final answer, we're going to basically convert 10 gallons to miles. And the way we're going to do it is to use this relationship right there. So our first number is going to be 10 gallons. How far can you get in 10 gallons? Okay. And notice I want gallons to cancel. And so if I can flip it if I need to. In this case, I don't need to flip it. If I just go 30 miles per 1 gallon, do you see where our units of gallons cancel? And I'm left with units of miles, which is great. And 30 times 10 is that 300 miles that we kind of intuitively came up with. But I'll tell you that this down here is working it using the factor label method. So now this is the problem that you actually have in your notes. It looks similar, but it's not quite. So instead of getting 30 miles per gallon, we are getting 23.4 miles per gallon. So not quite as good mileage. And instead of our tank holding 10 gallons, it holds 68.1 liters. But we're going to kind of do it the same way. So first off, this slide kind of talks you through, whenever you see per, think like a slash. So that's like saying whatever follows is in the divisor. So 23.4 miles per gallon means 23.4 miles per, and when we use this and try to know where uncertainty lies, this is per exactly 1 gallon, and this up here, 23.4, there is uncertainty there. Hope that works for you. Okay. So sometimes, though, just kind of sticking with that gas mileage, we could also show or think of the gas mileage as looking like this. The gas mileage is, I don't know whether that's going to show up or not. The gas mileage is, for that car, 1 gallon, exactly 1 gallon, will get you down the road approximately 23.4 miles. 1 gallon, in 1 gallon, you will drive 23.4 miles. So depending upon how you need to kind of use that physical property of that car. Okay. So here we go. Basically, though, there's something a little more front end we need to do. So we're going to go from liters all the way to miles. But notice in this case, since it's given in miles per gallon, we need to go ahead and get liters to gallons before we can go ahead and use that ratio in our problem. So liters to gallons, and this is a relationship you don't have to memorize. We've used this earlier in this part. We're gonna take that equivalency statement, make it as a ratio, so units of liters will cancel. We're left with units of gallons. At that point, then we're ready to go ahead and introduce the gas mileage. That for this vehicle, 23.4 miles is equal to 1 gallon. And so we're going to introduce a ratio so that gallons will cancel and we'll be left with units of miles. So the first term is going to be what our tank holds, those liters, 68.1 liters over 1. I'll just kind of do it this way again. So over 1, and like I said, now we want liters to cancel and we want to be left with gallons. So I usually put my units down there and then bring down my numbers. I try to make sure I bring down the right numbers. 785, okay. And then we're going to go ahead and go from gallons to miles using this relationship. The mileage, 23.4 miles in 1 gallon. And then units of gallons will cancel. So liters cancel here, gallons cancel here. We're left with units of miles, which is exactly what we want to be left with. So using the factor label problem, using the factor label method to work this problem. Okay, how are we going to round it? Looks like, is there uncertainty in this first term? Yes. So there are 3 sig figs. Is there uncertainty in the second term? Yes. There's no uncertainty in this one, but there are 4 sig figs down here. Is there uncertainty in this term? Yes. There are 3 sig figs here, and that one brings no uncertainty. So what we got, 3 here, 4 here, 3 here. So it looks like we need to round according to 3 sig figs. And let's see if this is what you get. I got 421 miles.